Good morning and welcome back to another snowy edition of Gary's Movie Emporium. Uh, we're we're getting snow. Finally, it's wrapping up this morning, and I'm just so sick of winter. I mean, like every other third or fourth day, we're getting snow, and it's not just like an inch or two. It's like 5 to 6, and it just it's piling up because it doesn't have a chance to thaw. And we've been hovering at that teens, like the 5 to 15 degrees at night, and it just has nowhere to go. And I'm getting really concerned about it piling up outside because it hasn't had a chance to melt. But like I say, as always, I'm not here to talk about the weather. Well, let's get started on the titles I picked up at the Dollar Tree. There's 24 titles in this video this morning. And as always, I get started with a DVD because in my area we do not get a lot of Blu-ray. And starting off the batch here is 7 Days, 27 Filmmakers, One Powerful Story. And I really am happy to get this because it's, 9/11 was very dark days for America. And I just remember living in a small town and finding out through my mother that the World Trade Center had been bombed or suicide bombed, and I just was in shock, and I just like watched it for the first time, and it seemed so surreal. It seemed like it was just model planes being flown into a Hollywood backdrop, skyscrapers or something. It just I've never this and the pandemic are the most tragic things that I've ever seen in my lifetime. I'm 50, and those are two of the most tragic things I've ever witnessed. But it's the movie 7 Days in September, a film by Steven Rosenbaum. It's a Cinedigm title. A lot of Cinedigm in this wave as well, in case anyone noticed that. It's a docurama.com release. And it is part of the Docurama films. I'm noticing a lot of the Docurama films are showing up in this wave as well. It says it's from 2002, and it was released in Cinedigm in 2014. But basically, it was the moments after 9/11, people ran for shelter in lower Manhattan, but a handful of New Yorkers turned to face the towers. In their hands, digital video cameras captured sounds, images few could ever have imagined. Then in the days that followed, cameras continued to document the drama, passions, anger, and fear as New York came to terms with life under a plume of smoke and ash. And that's 7 Days in September. I'm really looking forward to watching it. Well, can't say I'm really looking forward to it, but I mean, I think it's going to be really good in that sense. But the chaos that went on after this was really hard to deal with for a lot of people. People are still feeling its pain today. And next up, I'm trying to pick up the video here. Didn't mean to get all kind of sentimental with that one, but 9/11 deserves its place in history, and deserves still attention. That we need to wake up. We need to pay attention to what's going on, because you never know if an enemy is out there trying to keeping an eye on us. I think it was the day that we actually dropped the ball as Americans. I think we could have did a little better, than what we did. But I mean, it could have been a lot worse with the second plane too. So thank God that some brave passengers stepped forward and made that not happen. But tragically, they lost their lives all the same, which was the pure shame of it all. But next up here is Crowning Jewels, Elizabeth Labadie Jacqueline Labadie. I don't know if these girls are twins. I'm assuming they are, but I wouldn't know. I've never watched this one. But I thought maybe it might be a trick of the camera kind of thing. But it's one beauty queen, one bookworm, double trouble. 178 by 1, 5.1 Dolby Digital, 84 minutes on this one. It's Dove approved, and it's SP releasing here. Really ain't gonna read it because you pretty much have seen these movies. I had to open this in store because it felt like it was rattling, and I think it might have been. If I didn't say this is from 2017, and I believe it was a Canadian release disc as well. Like it came, originally from Canada because it has like the back has some logos and stuff that would be Canadian. But like I said, no fretting on that at all. I just like to point that out because I know some people like, stuff abroad, like stuff here, not over, up another country or whatever. But the point is it'll play. But that's Crowning Jewels, and that's a Double Trouble twin movie, basically. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Two twins are going to get into a lot of trouble because they can, and they do that in real life. Widescreen presentation here of Will Smith and Hitch. It says Hitch is the comedy of the year. PG-13. Another Canadian released disc here, I'm believing. Sony Pictures Home. Has English 5.1 and French Dolby Surround. Does have English and French subtitles. Clocks in at 118 minutes. Has deleted scenes, a blooper reel, behind the scenes featurettes, One Thing music video by Amari. I guess that's how it's pronounced. And this is PG-13 if I didn't mention it. Sony Pictures release, and it's a 2x41 by 1 anamorphic widescreen. Pretty much everybody should know what this is. This was a pretty big box office hit for one Will Smith. I didn't know much about it. I think I've watched bits and pieces of it, but I like it when he plays in more like the sci-fi stuff, and I don't really like lovesick kind of stuff, but I don't know if that's what this is, but it ain't really my cup of tea, but I picked it up because, if I don't, somebody else will, and, then I'll go back and look for it and I won't find it. And then next up, this one looks like a sci-fi actioner here. This is time for a total reboot, Hacked. I picked it up in store, not thinking that I had gotten it in a box of extras that Larry and Melissa had. Well, they show their pictures at their stores of what anybody wants, and I didn't think I'd actually get this in store, so I picked it up thinking I was going to tell them to take it out, and then I said, I don't see this every day, so why not just get it again to be safe, in case something happens to it or whatever. Sometimes the mail carriers are very clumsy with stuff and of that nature, but this is 235 by 1, 87 minutes, 5.1 Dolby Digital. Does have subtitles in English. Says it's a Nighthawks Entertainment. It does have gory scenes, language, vulgarities, and I guess that's what that's saying too. Yeah, this has got to be French Canadian as well, because it does have logos and it says the art was printed in U.S., but something just kind of screams it could have. It's more than likely a Canadian released physical disc that maybe we collaborated with them on. I have no idea. I know a lot of times that happens with TV shows. Canadian shows that are made in Canada air on our sci-fi channel and things like that. Maybe they pay for the right distribution and that kind of thing, but pretty happy to have Hacked. The next up, I got a PBS one here. Really interesting title on this one. It's a Nova exclusive. It's an Iceman Reborn, New Revelations from the Ancient Ice Mummy. He was stalked, attacked, and left to die alone, murdered more than 5,000 years ago. Otzi, the Iceman, is Europe's oldest known natural mummy miraculously preserved in glacial ice. His remarkable intact remains continue to provide scientists, historians, and archaeologists with groundbreaking discoveries about a crucial time in human history. But in order to protect him from contamination, this extraordinary body has been locked away out of reach in a frozen crypt until now. So, sounds really interesting. Definitely would like to watch that. How long is that one? It's only 60 minutes, but I bet you it's a really compelling 60 minutes. Says, yeah, your purchase supports programming that inspires people to be more. So, as you can tell, this is a PBS release. Just for, that kind of moniker that, they put on the back here. David K. Hotch, Fund for Science, Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Widescreen release here. And the English is in stereo. And this is from 2016. So, pretty happy to have that. And I think I got this before, and I think Larry and Melissa might have got it, but I couldn't resist. I get in the store, and if I see something that I have a lot of, I like grab them again sometimes to thinking I don't have them. But it's Pick of the Litter Pound Puppies. That's a Hasbro Studio release here. 5.1. It's a Shout Kids as well. So you're getting a lot for your buck here for being a Shout Kids. 2015. It's a 178 by 1 anamorphic. I'm assuming widescreen, although it doesn't say that. The DVD producer was Brian Ward, and the package design was by Mindy Kang. Pretty neat little packaging here going on. Like, the animation's pretty nice looking. Kind of sleek looking, if you will, I think, for especially, being a Pound Puppy release. Kind of has, the kid kind of has that Family Guy or American Dad look to him a little bit there. So they did pretty good with this Pound Puppy set, I think. Or not set, but title. And then I got Life Changes Are Good. All I ever wanted, but how far would you go to make them happen? English stereo, 2 by 35 by 1, 96 minutes, an ITN and E1 distributed title here. Frustrated by the repetitious grind of a drug-dealing life, part-time street mime, Ace tries to escape the life he once chose out of desperation after witnessing the murder of his family by his alcoholic father. Ace subconsciously tries to fight with his haunting past while dealing with his not-so-life-motivated friends. Lacking motivation from loved ones, Ace reaches to his panic-stricken adoptive sister, Rose. They embark on a journey of self-knowing experiences that brings them closer together as they try to help each other fight through their insecurities. Sounds really cool, actually. You got personal life struggles, decisions, going on that they need to make to maybe, stay away from the dark side of the streets. It's 2017 on this one, and / 2018. I think it was a 2017 title and got distributed in 2018. And if I didn't say, it's an Entertainment One release, and it does have a website of the same name.com. So, look at the back. Restack the deck there so they don't fall on the floor. And then I got a movie called Birds of a Feather. It stars Zaytoven, Al Nuke, Gucci Mane, Big Bank Black, and The Price of Fame Could Be Your Life. Music by Zaytoven. And I think that's an kind of like a nod towards Beethoven. That's what I'm thinking with that name. It's 2012/2013. It's a Screen Media Films, rated R. It does have a Birds of a Feather movie.com site as well. Says it's in showpiece films in conjunction with screen media films, but I might add. Basically, it's about two cousins from different walks of life have similar aspirations, fame, and fortune in the music business. However, when they both begin their careers in the industry, they realize that the business isn't much different from the streets, where every bad decision could come with a life threatening consequence. And they're saying it's a must see for all music fans, and it's a story of success, failure, and betrayal. And that's Birds of a Feather. Look at the back there. Don't know much about that one. I'm very happy that I'm getting some of these unique ones in this video this morning. And I got these at multiple places. I got them 2 or 3 different counties apart, some of these, so I'm kind of combining them into one haul. It's an IFC presents A Decade Under the Influence. It's the 70s film that changed everything. Intoxicating, and they give it a grade A. This is Entertainment Weekly. I mean, anything and everything and anything that went on in the 70s film industry probably made this disc, or a good portion of them, the main ones. 180 minutes on this one, really long. It's 3 hours. It's an IFC docurama. Includes interview footage with Robert Altman, Francis Ford Coppola, Peter Bogdanovich, Sidney Lumet, I guess. Roy Scheider. We're very happy about that because I like Roy Scheider a lot. I miss him. I think he could have done a lot more in Hollywood had he not passed on. And others, filmmaker bios, interactive menus, and a scene selection. People magazine says it's an insightful and entertaining. And this also was an official selection of the Sundance Film Festival, so you don't get selected unless you're somewhat, pretty alright movie, let's put it that way. But that's a decade of Under the Influence, the 70s. Hopefully they make an 80s one. I'm more partial to that era. I grew up in that. I love the music. Oh, that's kind of weird. I opened this disc because I had it open at one point and it was already like this. Must have had the slip on wrong or something. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody must put it together funny or something. I don't know. But it's Sony Pictures Classics made in Dagenham. That's a film by Nigel Cole. Takes place in 1968 in Dagenham, England, in the fight for equal rights. An ordinary woman achieves something extra, based on a true story. So Sally Hawkins is irresistible in this, funny, touching, and a vital salute to women. Richardson is sensational in a movie you can't stop cheering. And it does have the late great actor Bob Hoskins in it as well. Something stuck in the sleeve there. I don't know how that happened. Or not the sleeve, but the... I don't know. It's like a little pebble or something. I don't know. I don't know how that would have got in there. It's kind of weird. Rated R. It's approximately 113 minutes. It is a Sony Classics. It's from the director of Calendar Girls. Comes this extraordinary story based on true events at the town's local Ford automobile plant. Sally Hawkins here is one of the only 187 women in a workforce of 55,000 men. Facing overwhelming opposition in the man's world, Rita rallies her female co-workers to fight for equal pay, a stand that defies the corporate status quo, threatens her marriage, and ultimately exacts a tragic toll. So, I have no idea what the tragic toll is. I like to think it didn't cause her, to pass on by the end. I don't know, but that does happen in a lot of these movies. It says with support of the shop steward, Bob Hoskins, and the government's employment secretary, played by Miranda Richardson, the women become the sensation of the nation and the catalyst for a profound turning point in time. And that's made in Dagenham or Dagenham. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Maybe somebody from the UK could tell me in the comments if if you're watching. I want to get it right. I don't want to oh, devalue your name or your city. I just want to make sure I get it right. Never heard of the city, to be honest, but let's move on. And next, I got the fans embrace Slapshot as the Casablanca of hockey films. The Last Gladiators is Apocalypse Now, says Sports Illustrated. The Last Gladiators, from the Academy Award-winning director Alex Gibney. Phase 4 film here, rated R, 5.1. It is a documentary, by the way. It's not like a straight-up hockey movie, you know, like guy falls in love with a girl. It's nothing like that. It's more or less just about a documentary about hockey. A live Q&A with Chris Nealon, extended interviews, an official trailer. Sportsnet recommends it highly here as well. 90 minutes, color, 178:1 is the aspect ratio, and it's rated R for language. So, looks kind of interesting. I like the cover here going on. I don't know if it's about hockey fights as well, based on the back. It probably shows a lot of the, famous hockey fights, maybe. I don't know, like cup finals or whatever, but we're pretty happy to have that. And then I wanted to add to my stand-up comedy section of the library here. It says We Speak Comedy, Entree No. I guess, Best Latin Comedy Series. Entre Nos, I guess that's how it's pronounced. Best Latin Comedy Series on Premium Cable. And this is a Viva title. NTSC, of course. Really much on the back to look at. It says it's 60 minutes. It's a laugh out loud comedy special featuring U.S. Latino comedians. Tune in for an evening of surefire entertainment as the funniest folks in comedy share personal yet universal stories about life, love, and being Latino. But I'll let you pronounce that. I don't want to butcher the Spanish language. We weren't forced to take Spanish or French or anything like that. I missed the cutoff line in high school. They started introducing languages like 4 or 5 years after I graduated, and I was really glad I didn't have to do anything like that. So you could kind of say in a sense, we kind of lucked out like the kids are now in school. I mean, it's not good about the pandemic, but they're really being asked a lot to do in school right now because of the pandemic. And it kind of reminds me with this language barrier here thing with English and French, with me not having to do it. Well, about 10 years after, every kid has to do at least one or the other. And then next up, I got a movie starring Michelle Williams, Christopher Plummer, Mark Wahlberg, a Ridley Scott film here, and it's certified fresh from Rotten Tomatoes, inspired by true events of the Getty kidnapping. All the money in the world. And it stars Mark Wahlberg as well, if I didn't say. It's rated R, Sony Pictures release. Since it's inspired by historical events, certain scenes, characters, and dialogue have been fictionalized for dramatic purposes. So in other words, they're basically making stuff up in some regard to make it more dramatic, which I don't like. You try to stay kind of faithful, but that's Hollywood for you. That's why they try to sell tickets. Has deleted scenes. Ridley Scott crafting a historical thriller, hostages to fortune. The cast, recast, reshot, and reclaimed. So you get quite a few special features on this. It does come with a digital code, I believe, too. But I'm at this point, what year it was out, I doubt it would even be workable. It says it's from 2018, and I wouldn't doubt if it might be a little older than that. But it's all the money in the world, and like I said earlier in this that it's certified fresh, so which doesn't really mean a hill of beans to me, because a lot of times when movies are certified fresh, I end up not liking them from Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know why, or not really thinking they're all great, but there are occasionally one in there that I will like. But With a cast like that, it might be alright. And next up, from the award-winning director of The Queen and Frost Nixon, says it's an excellent film. Sheen's performance is superb. Got a movie here starring Michael Sheen, Damned United. It stars Timothy Spall, which I've gotten some stuff from him lately in, Tom Meaney, and Jim Broadbent. Michael Sheen's performance is persuasive and illuminating, says the New York Times. Rated R on this one. Another Sony Pictures classic. 185 by 1, approximately 97 minutes on this. It's based on an incredibly true story of Brian Clough, one of England's greatest soccer managers. His 44 controversial days at the helm of reigning champs Leeds United. I can't really read the rest because of the sticker, but basically it sounds like it's about a head coach that's in like the head coach of Leeds United. I have no idea if that's what he really is or was in real life, but once again, our buddies from the UK could tell us maybe in the comments a little bit more about this. I have no idea. I'm not a soccer fan per se, but I'm also not a golf fan, and I'm not too high on what else is there? I ain't really big on NASCAR either. I just pretty much like the basic sports for me, like basketball, football, baseball occasionally. But I'd say wrestling's probably my favorite sport if you count that as a sport. But this looks really interesting, and it's got Michael Sheen in it, so he's a really good actor. And then I got a John Bernthal, Christopher Abbott, and Rosemary DeWitt. Sweet Virginia, one of the best thrillers of the year, says Variety. Now this is a Shout Factory as well. Rated R. 5.1, 93 minutes, and it does come in widescreen presentation. So, and it is from 2017. Sweet Virginia. Look at the back. I like the clear case going on in this particular DVD title. I wish more of my cases were clear like that. I think it's really fancy. And then next up, I got another Sony Pictures classic. It's called a Wong. Well, it's not called that, but it's a Wong Kar-wai film, Ashes of Time, Redux. This is Chinese and French language with English subtitles. 2009 title here, rated R, 178 by 1. Very limited special features, featuring a Q&A with Wong Kar-wai, or Wah, I guess that's how it's pronounced. Cannes Film Festival official selection, special screening. So it's got a special screening at Cannes. Block 2 Pictures in conjunction with Sony Picture Classics on this as well. And it's this is a hard name to remember. Ashes of Time Redux. At least it is for me. I had to look at it again to make sure that's what it was called. And then it's kind of throwing me off because the name name of the movie is Sideways, so pretty unique title there. I've not seen many people get that one. And then I got from the director of Slumdog Millionaire and Trainspotting is Trainspotting II, or T2, is referred to on the cover, has Ewan McGregor, Ewan Bremner, Johnny Lee Miller, and Robert Carlyle. It's a Sony Films release, along with TriStar, a 1x85 by 1, 5.1 Dolby Digital. Very limited special features. There's about 3 special features on this, so about average. Not great, not terrible either. Basically, it's a sequel to Trainspotting, obviously. Really can't read what it's about too well because it's blocking the second half of it over on the right. I don't really know much about Trainspotting. I remember Trainspotting being really critically acclaimed, so I'm assuming this one's probably near as good. Probably not as good, but or it could be just plain out outright horrible. I don't know, but I like the cast. Looks promising, and that's Trainspotting II. And then next up, I got a Family 4-pack, Volume 8. I at this point, I just keep picking them up because maybe there's one movie in here I haven't gotten. It's Life's a Jungle, Africa's Most Wanted, which is a rip-off, more or less, of Madagascar. The Race Begins. I can't really couple that. That might be a knock on Barnyard, I'm saying. Then Rock Stars and Rob Schneider and Legend of the Sea. But 4-movie set here. I'm assuming it's probably all on one disc. It's from 2013, and Life's a Jungle clocks in at 70 minutes. Race Begins 90 minutes, and Rockstars 78 minutes, and Legend of the Sea, this one right here with Rob Schneider, is 76 minutes, and they're not all the same ratio either. It's just kind of weird. Yeah, you got 2 that are letterbox, 2 that are widescreen, so kind of weird. You would have thought they would have kind of given them all equal treatment. Maybe they just weren't able to, transfer them that way or whatever for some reason. But happy to have that, even though I've gotten it before, I believe. And then I got an Aaron Paul, Lena Headey, Sean Bean, Kingsglaive. Kingsglaive? Is that how it's pronounced? Yeah, Kingsglaive Final Fantasy, want to say 15? I'm not good with Roman numerals, so maybe you could tell me. I think XV is 15, but I could be wrong. It's PG-13. Sony Pictures release. It has quite a few special features. Magical Kingdom of... I don't know if that's Lucius or Lucis. Is home to the Sacred Crystal, and the menacing empire of Niflheim is determined to steal it. So I can't really read too much because once again they moved the sticker over kind of. They should have probably put it over this way a little more, but the Final Fantasy, I guess, is based on the games. I have no idea what that'd be like. I don't know if they have other movies of this in this realm of movies in the series. I have no idea. It's just kind of random to have that, whereas like all the other kind of Final Fantasy kind of movies. And then I got a movie starring Britt Robertson, Ask Me Anything. It stars Christian Slater, Justin Long, and Martin Sheen. Young, not so innocent. Nothing really inappropriate on that, I don't think. Girl in a dress shirt. Covered. 94 minutes, E1, not rated. 2013/2015 from Phase 4 Films. Entertainment 1, if I didn't say that. Masterfully immerses us with often stirring, unexpected result, says Gary Goldstein from Los Angeles Times, I guess. Basically, it's about a young, seductive girl named Katie Campenfeld decides to take a year off in college. She starts chronicling her sexual adventures in an anonymous blog that exposes her innermost desires, shames, and secrets. And then she goes on to seduce an older man. Takes a turn. Katie's fearless narrative begins to crack, and the dark pieces of her past emerge. So I don't know if her past with her indiscretions or whatever, or come back to haunt her in this, or what, but Ask Me Anything. And then I got a movie starring Richard Gere, Leor Ashkenazi, Hank Azaria, Steve Buscemi, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Michael Sheen, again, another Michael Sheen, uh, Dan Stevens, Josh Charles, The Moderate Rise and Tragic Fall of a New York Fixer. And this too was certified fresh, so I'm kind of leery at this point because I don't know if I'm going to like it. It's rated R for some language. It's 185 by 1, a widescreen presentation, 118 minutes on this one. And it has a little bit of a indent into the art. I'm going to have to put a piece of tape in the inside and push it back out so it doesn't look so bad. An Evening with Norman, Q&A with Richard Gere and Joseph Cedar, making the connection Norman on the red carpet. And this is a Sony Pictures Classics too, if I didn't mention that. Richard Gere star here, along with obviously Steve Buscemi, Hank Azaria, Michael Sheen, and those are pretty much, and it's pretty much all I recognize. But as you look at that, pretty happy to have that too. I don't really know nothing about that. Pretty unique find, I think. Maybe not. And then I got this for the slip. It stars Heather Graham, Angela Kinsey, Stephanie Beatrice. Half Magic, Getting Ahead, Never Felt So Good. It's rated R. It's a Momentum Pictures. It does have, what's her name, from Cheers in it as well. The little foul-mouthed Italian girl that's married to Danny DeVito in the show Cheers. I can't remember her name. She's in it. Audio commentary with Heather Graham and Stephanie Beatrice. Very limited on this. Three women use their newly formed sisterhood to fight against sexism, bad relationships, low self-esteem. Through embracing their wild adventures, they learn the secret to ultimate fulfillment. And it does have this really neat shininess to it. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, see it there? Got like these. See what I mean? It's like really neat. It's like diamonds or something going on. And you kind of have it on the cover too, a little bit there. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, see it kind of has that right there. Half Magic. And that concludes the part with the DVDs. And now I'm on finally to the Blu-ray. And then I'll be all done with the video and what I picked up. Got a Blu-ray DVD combo pack here starring, what's her name? Danielle Harris in the movie The Facility. 1 New Drug, 7 Volunteers, 17 Hours of Hell. It's a Vertigo Films release in conjunction with Tribeca Film, Protagonist, and mainly Cinedigm. It's 82 minutes. At a remote medical facility, a group of 7 strangers begin a clinical trial for the experimental new drug, Pro-9. As the untested drug begins to course through their veins, unexpected side effects start to take hold, and several of the volunteers are sent into an uncontrollable murderous rage. And that's The Facility. And did I say what year that was? Looks like it says 2011, so about a decade old now. So that's The Facility. Looks pretty promising. Right up my alley. They're saying it's a psychological shock to the senses. It says Shock Horror Magazine. So I'm glad, it's getting some love from the horror traded magazines and stuff as well. So sounds promising. And then I got a movie starring Dominique Swain and Gary Busey's son Jake Busey. Nazis at the center of the earth, dead but not gone. Kind of has that Dead Snow feel to it, mixed with shockwaves in a sense here going on. It does have zombified features as well. And of course, with a name like this, it is a asylum home entertainment. And sometimes, they get a lot of hate, but sometimes I like a lot of their stuff. If it's done to not too cheesy, but you know, like I know majority of their CGI is really bad, but sometimes they pull out one that surprises me or so. But and like I said, they do a very good job with Z Nation on Sci-Fi when it was on. I don't know if it's still on. I know it got moved to Netflix, I think, and they were talking about continuing it, but I don't know if that's what's going on right now with COVID and everything. So this is from 2012, an epic horror classic in the tradition of Army of Darkness and the Dawn of the Dead. Basically, researchers in Antarctica are abducted by a team of masked stormtroopers. They are dragged deep underground to a hidden continent in the center of the Earth. Here, Nazi survivors, their bodies are a horrifying patchwork of decaying and regenerated flesh, are planning for the revival of the Third Reich. So I guess they're taking bodies. I guess of people that they get their hands on, and they're turning into a zombie army for the Nazi Third Reich. So I mean, probably going to come back to bite them, but the Nazi era, they tried everything they could to try and remain on top, and seen it all now with this one. But that's Nazis at the center of the Earth. So I don't know if it's trying to make fun of Journey at the center of the Earth here with the title, but it's kind of funny too. Really happy to get that. I don't think I've ever seen anybody get that, or have not seen many people get that one. And that concludes my haul for this morning. And I'm sorry about the length, but I had an extra 2 or 3 titles on there, and I wasn't able to do a video too many days this week like I wanted to because of the weather. And it's actually calmed down a little bit outside. So tell your friends about my channel if you would. Share, like, and subscribe. Ding the bell for notifications. And it'll let you know when I drop a new video. I'm over 200 subscribers. I did really well with a horror pack unboxing that I didn't expect to do that well with, because they're kind of like a niche, audience and stuff, or viewership, targeted video format, and it did really good. It's well over 200 views. But that's my video for this morning, and I'll see you again, guys, and take care, and stay safe out there, and happy hunting. See you later. Bye.